I'm 80 years old, and I wasted 53 years of my life listening to the wrong people. My name is Frank. At 35, I was a millionaire, had a corner office on the 42nd floor in Manhattan. My name was on the door in gold letters. People called me Sir. I thought I had figured it all out. Now, I live in a one-bedroom apartment that smells like the previous tenant's cigarettes. I eat dinner alone 6 nights a week. The 7th night, I eat alone too, just at a different table. If you're climbing that ladder right now, if you're networking with people who only call when they need something, if you're too busy for Sunday dinners because of a presentation on Monday, you need to hear what happened to me. 1981. I'm 32 years old. I'm sitting in my kitchen in Queens with my wife, Margaret. She's pregnant with our 2nd kid. Our daughter, Emma, is 4, playing with wooden blocks on the floor. Margaret is making meatloaf, her mother's recipe. The apartment smells like onions and tomato paste. My buddy from college, Derek, had called earlier that day. He said he was putting together a real estate investment group, high-rises in New Jersey, commercial properties, the kind of money that could change everything. Frank, Margaret said, not looking up from the cutting board, we don't have that kind of money to risk. It's not a risk, I told her. Derek knows what he's doing. This is how people like us get ahead. She put down the knife, looked at me with those green eyes that used to make me forget my own name. People like us are already ahead, she said. You have a good job. We have enough. I remember laughing, actually laughing at her. Enough isn't enough, Maggie. I called Derek back that night, pulled $15,000 from our savings, every dollar we'd saved in 7 years of marriage. Margaret didn't speak to me for 3 days. The investment paid off. 6 months later, I had $38,000. Derek introduced me to his partners. Richard, who wore Italian suits and drove a Mercedes. Tony, who owned 4 apartment buildings in Hoboken. Steve, who talked about multiplying capital and leveraging opportunities. We'd meet twice a week at this steakhouse in Midtown. The Landmark, it was called. Dark wood paneling, leather booths, waiters in bow ties. They'd order bottles of wine that cost more than my monthly rent. You're thinking too small, Frank, Richard told me in 1983. I was 34. We were on our 2nd bottle of Bordeaux. You want to build generational wealth? You need to go bigger, bolder. He slid a folder across the table. A shopping mall development in Pennsylvania. Minimum buy-in is $100,000, he said. I didn't have $100,000, but I had equity in the Queen's apartment. Margaret and I had been there for 8 years. It was where we brought Emma home from the hospital, where we'd painted the nursery yellow for the new baby. I need to talk to my wife, I said. Tony laughed. Actually laughed. That's your problem, Frank. You're still asking permission. My wife doesn't even know half of what I invest in. You want to be successful? You make the decisions. I went home that night. Margaret was rocking our son, Tommy, who was 6 months old. Emma was already asleep. The apartment was quiet, except for the hum of the refrigerator. I didn't tell Margaret about the mall. I refinanced the apartment without her signature. Forged it. Yes, I forged my wife's signature on a mortgage document. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself she'd understand when we were rich. I told myself I was being a man, making the hard choices, protecting my family's future. The mall deal tripled my investment in 18 months. 1987. I'm 38 years old. I bought a house in Westchester, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a yard with actual grass. Margaret cried when she saw it. Happy tears, I thought at the time. How did you afford this? She asked. Smart investments, I said. Trust me. She stopped asking questions after that. Or maybe I stopped listening to them. I joined the country club, started playing golf every Saturday with Richard, Tony, and Steve. We'd talk deals on the back nine, opportunities, growth, who was in, who was out. My son Tommy was 7. My daughter Emma was 11. Emma had a piano recital on a Saturday in May. She'd been practicing for 3 months. Some Chopin piece I can't remember the name of now. She'd left a note on my briefcase. Daddy, please come. It starts at 2 p.m. I was on the 13th hole when I remembered. It was 2:30. I didn't leave. I told myself she wouldn't notice. I told myself there'd be other recitals. I told myself providing for her was more important than being there. When I got home at 7, Emma was in her room. Margaret was at the kitchen table with a glass of wine, just sitting there, not drinking it, just staring at it. She asked for you, Margaret said, 5 times. She kept looking at the door. I'll make it up to her, I said. I never did. Here's what I need you to understand. Richard, Tony, Steve, Derek, these men weren't my friends. In 1989, I was 40 years old. We'd been investing together for 8 years, made millions together, or so I thought. Tony's daughter got married, big wedding in Connecticut. I wasn't invited. Steve's mother died. I read about it in the obituary. Nobody called me. Richard's son got into Yale. He threw a party at his house in Greenwich. I heard about it from the valet at the country club. I confronted Richard about it. We were in the parking lot of the Landmark after one of our dinners. Why wasn't I invited to Marcus's party? I asked. He looked at me like I'd asked why the sky was blue. Frank, we do business together. We're not, we're not what? He got in his Mercedes. We're not friends, Frank. We're associates. I stood there in that parking lot for 20 minutes after he drove away. Cars coming and going, headlights in my eyes. I felt something crack in my chest, but I didn't know what it was yet. I went home. Margaret was already asleep, or pretending to be. I didn't tell her what Richard said. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself business was business. I told myself I was building something that would outlast feelings. 1994. I'm 45. The Pennsylvania Mall filed for bankruptcy. Some mismanagement issue. Fraud, actually. Turned out Tony had been cooking the books. Richard knew. Steve knew. Derek probably knew. I lost $400,000 overnight. I remember sitting in our kitchen, the one in the Westchester house, with all the paperwork spread across the table. Margaret came in wearing her bathrobe. It was 6 in the morning. What's wrong? She asked. I told her everything. The forged signature, the hidden investments, the money I'd borrowed, against the house, against my retirement, against our future. She sat down across from me, didn't say anything for a long time. Did you ever think to ask me? She finally said, did you ever think I might have something to say about our life? I was trying to give you everything. I never asked for everything, Frank. I asked for you. She left 3 months later. Took the kids. Emma was 18, heading to college. Tommy was 14. The divorce settlement took the house. Took most of what I had left. I deserved it. The next 20 years, I'm not even sure what happened. I mean, I know what happened. I worked. I made money, lost money, made it again. I dated women whose names I can't remember now. I had apartments in different cities. I kept investing, kept chasing, kept telling myself the next deal would be the one. I called Emma every few months. She'd answer maybe half the time. When she did, the conversations were polite, surface level. How's work, Dad? Good. Real good. Got something big in the pipeline. That's great. Silence. How's school? I'd ask, even though she'd graduated years ago. I'm 30, Dad. I'm a lawyer now. I've been a lawyer for 6 years. Right. Of course. I knew that. More silence. I should go, she'd say. Tommy stopped answering my calls altogether when he was 25. I kept calling anyway. Left voicemails, birthday wishes, apologies I never knew how to finish. Margaret remarried in 2001, a high school teacher named Paul. I found out from a mutual acquaintance. She didn't tell me herself. Why would she? I told myself I didn't care. I told myself I was too busy for all that anyway. I told myself a lot of things that weren't true. 2019, I'm 70. I'm in a hospital room in Newark. Had a heart attack. Not a big one, the doctor said. A warning shot. I'm lying there with tubes in my arms, and a nurse asks for my emergency contact. I didn't have one. Family? She asks. I have 2 kids, I say. Phone numbers? I realize I don't know them. I know Emma's old number from 15 years ago, but she's changed it since then. I have Tommy's email address, but that's it. Friends? The nurse tries. Richard died in 2012. Tony. I haven't spoken to since the bankruptcy. Steve moved to Florida in the 90s. Derek. I have no idea. No, I say. No one. The nurse smiled. That kind smile people give you when they feel sorry for you. We'll put down the hospital's general line, she said. I spent 4 days in that hospital. No visitors. The guy in the bed next to me had someone new every few hours. His kids, his grandkids, his buddies from the Knights of Columbus. I watched daytime TV and ate Jell-O cups. That's when I understood. At 70 years old, in a hospital bed, eating red Jell-O from a plastic cup, I finally understood what I'd done. I hadn't built anything. I'd traded everything real for things that disappeared. I'm 80 now. Like I said, I live in a 1-bedroom in Edison, New Jersey. The apartment is fine, clean, quiet. I have enough money to live on. Social security, some investments that didn't crater. I'm not broke. I'm not suffering materially. But I eat breakfast alone. I eat lunch alone. I eat dinner alone. Last Tuesday, I went to a diner near my place. The Sunset Diner, it's called. I go there maybe 3 times a week. The waitress knows my order. Coffee, black. 2 eggs, over easy. Wheat toast. She's nice. Calls me sweetheart. She's maybe 55, 60. Wears her hair in a ponytail. How are you today, sweetheart? She asked. Good, I said. You? Can't complain. My daughter's coming over for dinner tonight, bringing the grandkids. That's nice. She poured my coffee and walked away. I sat there for an hour after I finished eating, watching families come in, couples, friends meeting for lunch. I watched a father help his toddler color on the kids' menu. I watched 2 old guys, probably my age, arguing about the Yankees, laughing. I left a $20 tip on an $8 check. When I got home, my phone hadn't rung. It hasn't rung in 3 weeks, actually, except for a telemarketer trying to sell me Medicare supplements. I have Emma's current phone number now. got it from her law firm's website. I haven't called. What would I even say? Hi, it's your father. The one who missed your childhood because he was too busy making money. He eventually lost anyway. The one who chose business associates over family. The one who didn't realize he was alone until it was too late to do anything about it. Want to grab coffee? If you're reading this, if you're 30, 40, 50, and you're making the same choices I made, listen to me. That promotion you're killing yourself for, it won't hold your hand when you're scared. That network you're building with people who only know you as a LinkedIn connection, they won't visit you when you're sick. That extra money you're making by missing your kid's game, your partner's birthday, your parents' last coherent conversation, you can't buy back time. I know what you're thinking. But Frank, you don't understand. My situation is different. I'm doing this for my family. Once I get to X, then I'll have time. Then I'll focus on what matters. That's exactly what I said. I said it at 35, at 40, at 50, at 60, and now I'm 80, and I have money in the bank, and I have nobody to spend it with. You think those people you're networking with, those business partners, those contacts, those associates, are your friends. Call them when you have nothing to offer them. See who picks up. I spent 30 years with men who never knew my kids' names, who never asked about my marriage, who never cared about anything except what I could bring to the next deal. And I chose them over Margaret, who loved me when I had nothing, over Emma, who just wanted me to watch her play piano, over Tommy, who needed a father, not a check in the mail. Here's what nobody tells you. You don't get a warning. You don't get a moment where life says, okay, this is your last chance to choose differently. It happens slowly. One missed dinner, one skipped recital, one phone call you don't return, one conversation you don't have because you're too tired, too busy, too focused on the wrong things. And then you wake up and you're 70 years old in a hospital with no emergency contact. You wake up and you're 80 years old, and the waitress at the diner shows you more warmth than your own children. I'm not asking for pity. I did this. Every choice was mine. I can't blame Richard or Tony or the bankruptcy or bad luck. I chose money over people, over and over again. For 53 years. 53 years. Think about that. More than half a century of getting it wrong. Go home tonight, right now. If you can, tell the people who love you that you're sorry if you've been absent. Don't explain. Don't justify. Just apologize. Turn down the next networking event. Miss the golf game with the business guys. Skip the conference that could be huge for your career. Go to the recital. Show up for dinner. Answer the phone when your mother calls. Be there. Not next week. Not after this project. Not when things calm down. Now. Because I'm telling you, from the other side of this, those business associates you're impressing, they're not coming to your hospital bed. That deal you're closing, it won't remember you. That promotion you're chasing, it won't love you back. Your daughter will only be 7 once. Your son will only want you at his baseball game for a few more years. Your wife will only ask you to be present for so long before she stops asking. I know you think you have time. I thought I had time too. I was wrong. I'm 80 years old. I'm alone. And I have all the time in the world now. Too much time, actually. Time to remember Emma's face when I didn't show up. Time to think about Margaret eating dinner by herself. Time to wonder what my grandkids look like because I've never met them. Time to calculate what I traded and what I got in return. The math doesn't work out in my favor. Don't end up like me. Don't spend your last years in a one-bedroom apartment wondering where everyone went. They didn't go anywhere. You did. I did. And I can't get those 53 years back. But you still can. You still have today. You still have tonight. You still have tomorrow morning. Don't waste it. I did. And now I'm here. And you're there. Make a different choice than I did. Please, make a different choice.